Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Precast Chalk Talk. I'm Hagen, and very excited to be at our Germantown plant today, where we make some of the coolest precast in the world. It's incredible. So I'm standing in front of what is a sample. We call this a 4x4, and we produce this for our customers to review and approve. We do that because we want to have them to see the texture, what the designs that they've required in their panel, and also the color. And this one, it happens to be for a Boys and Girls Club that we're doing. And we're going to see a live panel, and then we're going to walk back into the plant and take a look at how they're actually making these different shapes in the panel. It's so cool. Wait till you see this. Okay, so here's another 4x4 we did for this Boys and Girls Club. We have it sitting next to the main panel. Isn't this cool? I mean, how cool is this? Like, how the heck do you make that large? We call this a reveal. Call it, kind of an innie and an outie, but I love it. It's such a great color. And then this is the final piece here that we're looking at. Here's another piece for the Boys and Girls Club, just showing you the casting in a door. This piece obviously is on its side, but this is a man door, and you can see more of the reveals here. And then these big plates, this will be some kind of connection to the steel roof. So this will probably be a roof line here as this panel tips up like this, and then these reveals will likely be obviously vertical above the roof line. So let's go take a look and see what we're going to do inside the plant to make all that happen. I'm standing in front of the finishing area. Just inside this, there's two bays here. One is where they're actually doing the acid etching and the sandblasting. The other one's where they're doing some finishing touches. But there's an overhead crane that runs through here, comes right out of the production hall, right through a big door. You're going to see that here in a minute. All right, here we are. We're in the finishing, the secondary finishing area where they're going to be doing touch-up after having washed the whole panel. Same orientation of this panel. As you can see that there's a man door up here. There's a window, obviously, or some other mechanical opening above that window. This probably creates another window to another panel that is on this side. Plates for the roof line, right, to attach, and then this being exposed on the outside of the building up above. So the guys have it in here. They're going to do some touches. What's really cool is we're going to kind of see a staged process here. So this is one bed per panel, and it's the red material is the epoxy coating that gives us that ability to create a very smooth finish with no imperfections in the base of the panel. And then they've taken down the sides. This is one of the form sides. And they've actually started laying out the reveals. So you can see these reveals, they get glued and nailed down, and they're made in our wood shop, which is just over my right shoulder over here. So we're making all these specific to each panel. The neat thing about being able to glue and nail them down here is that when we go to strip the panels from the form, this will not pop up on us. So one other important step in this process is the form liner that goes over these support wood pieces, the laths that we put down and created. So let's come take a look. You see what he's doing? He's got the form liner now going down over the top of the wood laths, so that the form liner, which is kind of a plastic material, the concrete's very heavy. If you didn't have the wood underneath, it's going to compress that, and you can have some problems with the detail and the dimensions of the reveals. The form liner is actually cut at an angle so that it matches this part of the reveal. You can see it's not just a 90 degree, but they've actually angled it here so it matches this reveal, and it fits in properly. Same thing over here. I mean, that's the kind of detail you have to have in order to make this thing right. So the next step, after they get everything secured down on the bed, reinforcing. If there's insulation, the insulation comes. But they're going to pour the face of the panel first. And this is our bucket that the concrete comes. So the mixer's up on top up there. The concrete empties into the buckets. The overhead crane lifts it up, and it goes out over the top. We'll work on that in a future episode. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Until then, peace.